Amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, y como siempre, I'm so grateful you are here. Welcome to our bi-weekly energy reading where we are here to gain a deeper understanding and higher conscious awareness of the couple of weeks ahead. The intention here is for us to really be in tune with and align with our higher selves, our higher potentials, and really just gain overall clarity as to how it is that we can embrace and embody our higher selves. So we are calling in our higher selves. I have called in the angels, loving ancestors, sacred ones, guardians of the four corners, mother in the earth, father in the sky, most high, to use me as a pure channel, vessel, vehicle, voice to relay these messages to. I have already cleansed myself, cleansed my space, cleansed my decks. If you would like to go through your own cleansing ritual to really open yourself up to receive this reading, to receive these messages, then I encourage you to do so. Grab a journal so you can write down whatever messages really resonate with you and move your heart, mind, and spirit. I am sincerely really looking forward to sharing this energy reading with you as we step into eclipse season. We have the Aries Solar Eclipse, which is a super new moon taking place on April 20th. And I just felt like this was the perfect time for me to come back and share these readings with you. It's been like 5 months, I think, since the last time that I shared a reading with you all. And I just needed a moment to really go through the hibernation of winter and go through my own purification and really show up here authentically. So let's go ahead and get into this reading. I already received some messages for us, but we're going to go ahead and continue to shuffle the decks a bit more to see if there are any other messages. Okay. Also, disclaimer that I do live in the city. So if there are any neighborly noises in the background, I set the intention that we are going to remain centered and grounded in the present moment and in this reading. So what is the overall energy for the upcoming couple of weeks as we officially step into eclipse season and as we experience the Aries Solar Eclipse? What is the overall energy? What is the overall energy for the collective to be made aware of? What's the overall energy? Okay. So I'm going to get into these that I received as I was prepping for this reading. We've got the Shield Maiden, to make plans and focus. It does feel to me like eclipses are a time for us to really be focused on what matters, on what truly matters to us, and to make the plans that we feel called to make revolving those things that truly matter to us, and be very intentional as to what it is that we are focusing on. As I'm receiving and perceiving this card at this moment, at this time, when I think of like the shield maiden as like what it is that we are to shield and to protect really is where it is that we are placing our attention, really shielding and protecting and defending the power of our mind and what it is and who it is that we are focusing on, because we really need to like fully realize and awaken to the truth of just how powerful our attention is, and just how impactful it is when we do, when we are intentional as to where it is that we're placing our focus. So be very mindful, be very intentional as to where you're placing attention, what it is that you are focusing on, and really protect that. Protect your mind, protect your focus and your attention, and where it is that you're placing your awareness. And when I think of like making plans, this does feel like a very actionable time, as much as it is also a time for us to be still and to be prayerful and to be very observant as to what is being revealed to us during this eclipse season. When I think of making plans, I really think of planting seeds of intention. This is the time for us to be planting intentional seeds. But let's continue. Let's progress. Oh, speaking of seeds, I kid you not. Here we have see your seeds grow. We have the spring card. How beautiful that we're receiving the spring card as we just stepped into the season of spring. I love little synchronicities like this that come up in the readings. But yeah, like this truly is right now. I'm actually offering a spring course. And at this time, we are planting seeds in the course. And again, like, being very intentional as to where it is that you're placing your intention, as to what it is that you're focusing on, and being intentional and mindful of the seeds that you are planting with your attention and with your focus. Like, when we think of our seeds of intention, the way that we water our seeds of intention is through our attention. We water our intentions with our attention. So again, just kind of going back to being very mindful as to where we're placing, how we're placing our attention. And also, this is a really beautiful time when I think of seeing your seeds grow. Yes, spring is a time where we're already seeing certain seeds in our garden of life grow, right? Let's see our lives as a garden. And at this time, the season of spring, we are seeing some seeds grow, and we're also planting some seeds. And some of the seeds that we're seeing grow are seeds that we've planted months ago, weeks ago, even years ago. And there are some seeds that are growing before us that are being revealed to us, right? Everything that is blooming in our lives at this time are intending for us to really be made aware of. So there are things that are going to be revealed to you that you need to practice that discernment of, okay, is this seed that is being revealed to me that I'm seeing growing in my garden, in my life at this time? Is this a seed that still feels true to me? Is this a seed that I still want to continue to water with my attention? Or is this a seed, is this a plant that I feel called to pull deep from its roots and get rid of, right? So on the other hand, also as you're planting your seeds, see those seeds of intention that you're planting this season, see them grow. Like, be a gardener that is also a visionary, and plant your seeds of intention with the utmost confidence that they are going to flourish and bloom, and you're going to experience the most abundant harvest with them. Like, if you're going to be planting seeds of intention, like, see it through, right? Really envision the future, the higher potentials of this seed, and believe in this seed. So let's continue. Druid holding the space. Eclipse seasons are a time of the year where we do want to be holding the space for ourselves, to be observant again of what is being revealed to us, for us to be holding the space, to be intentional as to where we're placing our attention and the intentions that we are planting in our day-to-day. to hold the space, to yeah, I feel like those are the main things that are really coming up, is like holding the space to be observant and holding the space to be intentional. And again, I do want to emphasize here that eclipse seasons are seasons where a lot is being revealed to us, internally and externally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And when we do hold that space and we are observant and we are intentional, what we're practicing is being receptive. It's us opening ourselves up to receive to receive the ultimate truth, to receive divine guidance, and to receive our higher selves, to receive our higher selves and the divine through our intuition. Okay. And we've also got the wise one, to grow within our current situation. Because what may be revealed to us during the season may be uncomfortable and may trigger certain emotions and thoughts that do bring forth discomfort. The wise thing to do here, the way in which we can embody the wise one, is to approach our triggers differently and to grow within that present moment with our triggers, right? Is not to allow our triggers to overpower us in such a way where we experience and relive the trauma or the experience behind that trigger, but that we again be able to hold the space to observe the trigger, to observe what this trigger is bringing forth emotionally and mentally, and to grow within that current situation where we are observing and experiencing the trigger in the present moment. Eclipse seasons are a really powerful time for us to be working with our triggers in that way so that we can heal and transmute them and let them go, right? This is a really beautiful, powerful, potent time for us to be alchemizing, to be transmuting and transforming, and to be fully letting go of what is no longer true for us, what no longer resonates with us, what no longer serves us and our higher selves. So how can you grow within your current situation? How can you currently grow within those moments where you do feel triggered? Remind yourself in those moments that you are wise, right? That you are a wise one, that you do have that wisdom within you, that your ancestors passed down to you, that the divine, that the Most High is present within you in such a way where you can access and tap into that wisdom. You have divine intelligence within you, okay? We've also got the elder, to move beyond ancestral patterns. Understand that you yourself are in the process of becoming an elder at this time, and that you are gaining wisdom, and especially so in those moments where you are growing within your certain situation, current situation. In those moments where you choose growth, where you choose different, where you choose to tap into your wisdom, it is in those moments where you are becoming a wise elder and you are moving beyond ancestral patterns. Again, a lot of what is coming up at this time and is triggering us is intending to be fully released, right? For us to really let it go so that we can align with, again, the ultimate truth and with our higher potentials and with limitless possibility, right? What ancestral patterns and cycles and habits and beliefs are you currently being called to acknowledge, right? To hold the space for, to observe, to acknowledge, to feel in such a way that you can fully release it. There is a way in which we can feel our feelings and not be overpowered by them and not identify and attach ourselves to them. Just simply feel them, and be very curious as to what these emotions, what these triggers are trying to inform us about, right? Triggers are information. Feelings are information, and they're always intending to teach us, to let us know about what is currently going on energetically within us. And we are able to fully release these blockages, these energetic blockages and stagnancies and ancestral patterns that have been deeply embedded within us for generations. We are able to, the way that we can fully let them go and transmute them is by allowing ourselves to be taught by them, is not running away from them, not avoiding them any longer, right, than we may already have, and letting them go, right? Once we've really okay, we understand the feeling of this, we understand where this is coming from, we're gaining realizations from it, we are responding to it differently in a more wise, higher self way, and we've gotten all that we've allowed ourselves to receive all the information that we can receive from this trigger, from this feeling, from this memory, from this pattern. Now we can let it go. And we've also got the medicine mother to honor your inner knowing. Honor your inner knowing. This is a time for us, and it really always is a time, right? But really, it's like during eclipse seasons where all of these themes that are coming up in this reading is just like extra potent. And I feel like that sounds so cliche because I feel like every reader just is always using the words like powerful and potent. But eclipse seasons really are that girl and really are that time where it's like eclipse seasons. I like to see them. If you are subscribed to my newsletter, please read the newsletters that I'm sending, because I'm talking all about eclipse season. And if you want to subscribe, there's information in the description below for you all to subscribe to receive my weekly newsletters. But I shared that I like to see eclipses as portals, right? And we have the ability to choose to really step into the portal that is the eclipse and step into renewed and re-envisioned life and never look back, right? It's like really kind of this opening that happens every 6 months, because eclipses work with that cycle where we experience eclipse season every 6 months. So this is a portal that we have an option to step into, and all the guidance that we're actually receiving from this reading is information for us to work with, to make the most out of this portal, and to really, again, like fully step into and embrace the renewed and re-envisioned life that is being made available to us, that many of us have begun to envision and imagine and feel. And eclipses, again, really intend to bring us into union with our higher potentials, with the ultimate truth, like really letting go of illusions that are holding us back, and come into greater harmony with limitless possibility. Okay, should any challenges or obstacles, perceived challenges or obstacles arise at this time, what energies is the collective encouraged to work with, to focus on, to tap into? Should any challenges or obstacles arise, what energies is the collective encouraged to tap into? Are there any other messages? What other Okay. There's quite a few here that came up for this when I was prepping for this reading, and we got 3 more now. So I'm not gonna like super dive into this all because it's a lot and I don't want this to be like the longest reading ever. But let's get into all of this goodness. Protection. I feel like just like we kind of got that energy of protection with the Shield Maiden. Where again, we are being very mindful and intentional about guarding our thoughts and our focus. Because again, our focus and where it is that we're placing our attention and our awareness really is so powerful. And you don't want to be just giving your power away to all of these people, places, and things that you are mindlessly focusing on. And because eclipse seasons can be very emotional and can be very triggering and do bring up certain shadows, and again, so that we can alchemize them into light. Eclipse seasons, we can be very vulnerable mentally, physically, and spiritually. Like during eclipse seasons, for many moons, like people have stayed indoors and have been very like full of prayer and meditation, and because we can be more susceptible to like psychic attacks and to being overpowered by our emotions and our thoughts and the illusions that are coming up. So you definitely want to call on spiritual protection, divine protection, whatever higher power, whatever God it is that you pray to, that you're practicing, your spirituality with, that you are developing a relationship with, whatever higher power it is that you feel connected to at this time that really resonates with you. Call upon the divine, call upon that higher power. Call upon that force to protect you during this time. During this very transformative time of your life, and especially so when you do feel like you are being challenged. Call upon divine protection and divine guidance. We've also got solitude here. Again, eclipses are a time where people have stayed indoors and stayed within themselves because, again, we can be more susceptible and we are more vulnerable to not only our energies, but other people's energies. Like, not everybody out here is like, you know, consciously aware of what's going on in the cosmos and how they're being affected by it and realizing that they're like extra triggered at this time. So this is a really beautiful time for us to be in solitude, for us to be with ourselves, for us to be, again, holding that space for ourselves, to be observant, to be intentional. So if you can, when you can, be in solitude, be one with yourself, be very meditative with yourself, be very healing, compassionate, graceful with yourself at this time. And don't be so quick to seek out solutions and to seek out advice from other people. Like, really allow this to be a time where you can practice, again, honoring your inner knowing and tuning into the divine that exists within you, the godliness that exists within you. We've also got simplicity, which is so interesting because one of the prompts that I offered for this Aries solar eclipse is like, in what ways am I practicing minimalism in different areas of my life? It's something like that. And it's true. Like, at this time, we are being called to simplify in many different aspects and facets of the word, right? Not only because the truth is, y'all, like, we truly do make our lives so much more complicated and difficult than it needs to be. Like, we really do. And that's why I worded it as like, should any perceived challenges or obstacles arise? It's because a lot of the challenges and obstacles that arise in our lives is through our own perception, really is like how it is that we're choosing to perceive it. There's this saying that goes something like, a mountain is only a mountain as long as like we name it a mountain, right? A challenge is only a challenge as long as we name it a challenge. And so call upon simplicity, right? Like, when you're feeling challenged, when you feel like there's obstacles, like, simplify. Like, ask yourself and get curious about how you may be complicating things. And the other message that I'm receiving here, because of this feather, and often when we see white feathers, it's an omen. It is a sign that there is an angel surrounding us at the time. I just want to share that, like, when the divine does speak to us, like, I, without saying too much, have developed my clairaudience, and I have literally, like, very clearly have been able to actually hear a voice and hear messages. And something that I've realized is that the messages that come through from the divine are so simple. Like, it's not like a sentence, like sometimes it's just a word, sometimes it's just like 3 words. It's very simple and to the point and clear and concise. So how can you bring forth that clarity and conciseness in your life? Okay, action. This is a time to be taking action. Again, as much as it's a time to practice stillness, it's like bringing forth that harmony of being able to discern, like, when it is and how it is that we should take action, and when it is and how it is that we should just surrender and let go. But we did get this energy of action here in the very first card, where we are encouraged to make plans and focus, and taking action, being very, like, the way that I'm receiving this is like, not being so passive, right? Like, not letting life just kind of like pass by, not just brushing these triggers, like brushing them off, shoving things under the rug, just being very passive because we don't want to confront things. Like, no, this is a time to take action in such a way where you are being active about, being observant. You're being active about being intentional. And when these perceived challenges and obstacles arise, if they arise, not being passive about them, like, take action in regards to the perceived challenges and obstacles that are arising in your life and in your path. Especially during eclipse season, we want to take action, and we want to be actionable about transmuting these shadows into light. Diligence. We want to be diligent about taking action. We want to be diligent about being intentional. We want to be diligent about staying focused, and being mindful of what it is and who it is that we're focusing on. We want to be diligent about opening ourselves up to receive divine guidance and protection. We want to be diligent about honoring our inner knowing. Like, what are you being diligent about? Like, this is a time for us to be intentionally diligent. And again, I'm just like, I feel like this goes back to just not being passive. When you're feeling challenged, when you're feeling like obstacles are arising, be very diligent about how it is that you're showing up for yourself and your life. And don't be so passive. Like, now is not the time to be like passive. And let us not confuse like resting as passiveness. Like, resting is a form of action. Like, it's just you practicing being so in tune with yourself that you understand the action that you personally are being called to take and that you personally need to take in your path at this time. Illumination, eclipse seasons are a time of illumination. Again, things being revealed to us. And the other cards that I got here, focus. So again, I just feel like the word focus is continuously coming up here because we're, again, it's being re-emphasized that what it is that we're focusing on is really, really important, especially now. Change. We are going and growing through changes. This is a very transformative season, and should any perceived challenges or obstacles arise, choose different, respond different, make a different choice. Don't, like, now is the time to move beyond ancestral patterns. How are you responding to life and to your life situations differently? How are you showing up in your life differently than all of these like unhealthy patterns that your ancestors have that have been passed down through many generations in your lineage? And delight. Okay, let us not, as much as this can be like, I don't want this to sound like, this is a time where you have to be very serious and like it's intense, and it can be, okay? It can be. But again, simplifying and not making this season, not making our lives more complicated and difficult than they need to be, and allowing ourselves to experience delight, allowing ourselves to experience the medicines of joy and delightfulness and bliss and laughter and calm. And like, there's so much medicine in this. Like, don't take life too seriously, okay? What is the collective being called to heal at this time as we progress into the Aries Solar Eclipse and as we experience eclipse season? What is the collective called to heal at this time? What is the collective called to heal at this time? What is the collective called and encouraged to heal at this time? What is the collective called to heal at this time? Okay. Yes, these are just all so on point with eclipse, with just the energetic themes of eclipse season. Letting go. Y'all, this is a time to let go. Let go of those unhealthy ancestral patterns. Let go of those emotions that have those, the energies of those emotions that have been just blocked and stagnant within you and taking up space. Let go of what no longer feels true to you. Let go of what and who no longer resonates. Let go of what you know isn't good for your highest good. Let go of those thought patterns that haven't been serving you. Let go, just surrender. Like, this is a time of surrender and really trusting the process of surrender, really trusting what it is that you're feeling called to let go. I feel like we've been practicing this. Like, I don't know about you, but surrender has been like definitely top 3 spiritual practice that has had my focus and my devotion the past few years, and increasingly so at this time. I just feel like I'm feeling called to surrender even more deeply. And so if you've been feeling like I'm feeling called to let go just even more deeply, listen to that. Transformation, by the way, if you've been seeing 2-2 anywhere, definitely take note of that and know that you are going and growing through a transformative time and you're being affirmed that you are in alignment. But eclipse seasons are a very transformative time, and we can kind of feel like we're somewhat going through this like we're still in the cocoon, but we can feel that we're just about to break out, right? So honor whatever phase that you are in your transformative journey, but know that there's so much healing taking place. And if you surrender to your transformation and to how your life is being transformed before your eyes, know that that's going to just be so healing from it. And you're just going to like make the most out of it by letting go and letting be. Also, our perception. Again, just like I mentioned earlier, how like our challenges and obstacles really are up to our perception and how it is that we're perceiving it. We're being called to heal our perceptions. Like, what perceptions are you noticing just aren't serving you, that are just, again, making life harder than it needs to be, making your life more challenging and difficult? What mountains in your life do you continue to name mountains? Be very mindful of your perception. A shift in perception really is a shift in your whole life. You are one shift in perception away from experiencing a whole different life. Slow but steady. Honor the slow but steadiness. Like, you may feel like the progress, the journey, the transformation is slow, but it's steady. Like, it hasn't stopped. You're still progressing. You're still making forward motion. Even if it feels like it's just little by little by little, honor that slow but steady pace. Progress is progress, and steadiness, consistency, progression is to be honored. Honor the slow but steady pace that is showing up in your life, and don't become frustrated by it. Why be frustrated? Why be frustrated? There's really no need. Honor the slow pace, honor the steadiness, and be grateful that you're still experiencing forward movement. Honor your energy. I just feel like, again, this is in tune with honoring your inner knowing. Like, this really is a time, again, to go back to that previous card again of just like allowing ourselves to be in solitude. Because this is a time where all of us are being triggered in some way, shape, or form. Prioritize being one with yourself so that you can be very in tune with your own energy and not enmeshing with other people's energies, and so that you can honor your unique energy, so that you can be in tune with your unique, true energy. And also, on the other hand of this card is like honoring your energy, as in honoring, again, where it is that you're placing your attention and your focus, honoring your conscious awareness, honoring your feelings, honoring your desires and your needs. Like, all of that is energy. So honor that. Honor what is coming up for you. Honor what is being revealed to you. Honor what is arising within you. Masculine energy. Masculine energy is the energy of being very actionable, of taking action, of not being passive. A healthy masculine is not passive. A healthy masculine does take initiative. So at this time, how are you going to be taking initiative for your healing? At this time, how are you going to be taking initiative in this transformative process? How are you going to be taking initiative and showing up in your masculine as we are being presented this portal of the eclipse? I actually feel very Real quick, I feel called to look into this card of masculine. The sun, powerful, a life force without which nothing on this earth. And interesting because this is a solar eclipse, something to reflect on. We've got the sun here. Now that I'm thinking about it, like our solar eclipse bringing forth more masculine energy and our lunar eclipses bringing forth more feminine energy. Okay. The sun, powerful, a life force without which nothing on this earth could survive. The masculine energy is one of action, doing, creating, forcing. In nature, it is balanced out with feminine energy. When we find ourselves embodying this energy, we get things done. We are thinking, logical beings. If we reside here too staunchly, we do not have any room for the opposite energy to come in. Being able to effortlessly flow from one to another, masculine to feminine, is the pinnacle of being in the flow energetically. Sometimes in love relationships, energy turns topsy-turvy and we end up residing in an energy that doesn't meet our highest need. This is hard to break out of due to fear. The fear, if I don't do it, it won't get done. So like that unhealthy, toxic masculine energy of just like really overworking ourselves and depleting ourselves by just like overdoing it. Realizing that two people make up a relationship, and in an involved one, the relationship itself develops its own energetic balance, a perfect combination of yin and yang, masculine and feminine. If there is a void in one area, an imbalance will develop. And as is the nature of things, unconsciously, we will try to balance out. Being aware is a perfect first step. Okay. All right. I just felt called to read that. What are we being called to surrender? What is the collective call to surrender during this eclipse season? What is the collective being called to surrender as we experience the Aries Solar Eclipse? What is the collective being called to surrender? What is the collective being called to surrender? Okay. Let's get into these. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. Again, opening ourselves up to receive the divine. Surrender to play, right? Here, going back to the card of delight, take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Truly, play is medicine. Surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. So again, I feel like this is kind of like re-emphasizing this is a time to like really deeply trust the process, trust life, trust yourself, honoring yourself, not being swayed by other people's energy, right? Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Our relationships may really be tested at this time during eclipse season. So be very mindful of the boundaries that you may need to place and the yeses and nos that you need to express. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Again, honoring your energy, honoring your inner knowing, and tuning into your own self, turning within, spending that quality time with your own self in solitude. And lastly, but not leastly, surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. I love that. Love those surrenders. My neighbor. You may have heard my neighbor. Okay. Let's get into these affirmations to bring this reading to a close. I pray that this reading has felt very affirmative for you. And if it has, I'd love to know in the comments what you resonated with, what really stuck out to you. You already know that your girl loves to create and cultivate community in the comments. So talk to your girl in the comments. And if you want me to continue to like if you're like, yes, I miss these readings, or I do want to receive these readings from you, let a girl know too, okay? All right. I accept my uniqueness. Truly, I feel like another one of like the really big major intentions of eclipse season is to realign us with our own uniqueness, with our unique soul purpose and mission in this lifetime. There is no competition and no comparison, for we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself. I love that. The point of power is always in the present moment. The past is over and done and has no power over me. I can begin to be free in this moment. Today's thoughts create my future. I am in charge. I now take my own power back. I am safe and I am free. I feel like these first two affirmations truly are like the affirmations for eclipse season, truly. Letting go of the past, accepting our uniqueness, bringing our, like, really anchoring ourselves in the present moment. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. Yes, my life works beautifully. Really trusting that your life is unfolding divinely and is in divine order. I trust my inner wisdom. Wow. These affirmations are really, really so beautifully bringing this whole reading to a close and bringing it all full circle. As I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. I love how affirming ourselves that we are safe has come up a couple of times in these affirmations already, because this really is a time for us to be affirming ourselves that we are safe in the changes we're going through, that we are safe in the transformation, that we are safe in the feeling. There is no blame. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness we have. Yes. Whew. That was such a lovely reading. I'm so grateful that I made myself open and receptive to receive and relay it. Again, if you resonated with any messages in particular, I'd love to know which ones in the comment section below. It's been a minute since I've done that, since I've shared an energy reading. I do these readings with my own self, but it's been a minute since I've shared one. And again, if you enjoyed this, if you want more of this, also let a girl know in the comments. But I am praying that we all have just the most high vibrational eclipse season. And if you want even extra guidance, definitely check out the journaling prompts that I shared with you all for the Aries Solar Eclipse. And I am wishing you all well and so much clarity and confidence and comfort. So thank you so much for being here and gifting me the honor of being brought into your present moment. I truly cherish you. Bye.